Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited that I decided to do this particular video because once I got these jeans in person, tried them on, styled them up, I have a lot to say about them. So this video is all about jeans from Maison Margiela, and I'm going to start with a little bit of the why, but don't worry, I will get into the sizing, the price, where I bought them, how I style them. No stone will be left unturned in this video. I'm going to go very, very deep because honestly, these jeans are super special and they deserve just a whole video to talk about them because they're iconic. Okay, I honestly can't think of another word. They are iconic. I will also say that these jeans are not for everyone. You're either going to hate them or love them, and I feel like that's kind of the Margiela brand in general. Like, for example, I personally don't love, I think it's called like the tabby shoe where the toe is split in all the shoes. It just looks uncomfortable. I don't love the aesthetic of it, but like people love them and they certainly make a statement. So you've got to give it to Margiela that they always have a very clear point of view, and these jeans have a very clear point of view. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe let's just start with Margiela jeans and sort of how you can identify them and what's special about them. So in general, these jeans, which there have been tons of knockoffs, I know that ASOS and a lot of other places like this will have similar kind of slits in the side of jeans, trying to like give that similar aesthetic. But these jeans in general, they are cut in a particular spot on the leg. I think it actually makes for a really flattering shape, which you'll see once I start trying the jeans on and showing them to you. So it's very purposeful. It's really well done. It's not just cut. They actually sew around it. So it's not like they're going to rip in anything. So I'm sure like the more high fashion or high street brands just cut them and don't finish them off or anything. So like that's one kind of key difference. And then the other big characteristic of any Margiela item is that it has their little signature stitching in the back. So I'll be inserting close-ups of all of this stuff so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But these are just little design details that if you see them on someone, you can tell like, oh, that's a piece from Margiela, most likely, unless it's super vintage. So for example, I have this really phenomenal vintage Margiela coat that is from the 90s, I think, maybe the 80s. And it was when it was like Mason Martin Margiela originally. So it's older, it doesn't have those markings on the back of it or anything, but most things in the newer seasons of Margiela will have kind of that signature stitching on the back just to identify it. Another key thing about these pants is the shape. They're really meant to be oversized for the most part, but they also come in really beautifully at the waist. So yeah, I'll get more into some of the design details, but in general, those are the things that when you see those like signature cut marks and you see them coming in at the waist and you see this really beautiful shape, you will know that these are Maison Margiela jeans. So the reason that I was really, really wanting, I just honestly, I couldn't get these jeans out of my mind. I blame Tamara. I will leave her YouTube linked below if you haven't watched her stuff. It's really great. She does a really good job of sort of highlighting more high-end luxury pieces, and she just pairs these jeans with blazers, and she just looks super cool when she's doing it. And so the thing that really kicked this off for me was I have a pair of Mango boyfriend jeans that I absolutely love, and I do think these are a great alternative if the Margiela jeans are too high of a price point for you. I will try to find something similar because I did buy these a couple of years ago, but they're gray, they're super baggy. I actually just kind of cuff them up at the bottom, but I love wearing these jeans with my more structured, sort of conservative items. So like a black blazer or my Chanel ballet flats. Like when I was in Paris, this was my favorite outfit to wear. I felt so chic, so French, just wearing the carefree baggy jeans juxtaposed with this beautiful black blazer or my really structured Margiela navy coat. This was just like my favorite look. I loved this look. And so I was really wanting something to sort of fill that hole in my wardrobe. Again, something that looks effortless and cool when I pair it with a lot more structured, sort of conservative items like a turtleneck or Mary Jane's, or just sort of think along those lines. And so that's really what I had in mind when I was thinking about these jeans. And so I ordered two pairs in two separate styles and actually two separate washes and different sizes as well. So that way I could kind of compare, contrast, because I've never ordered any jeans from Margiela before. I've never ordered any pants from Margiela before. So this was all new for me. So I'm going through this all with you guys and making this video so that hopefully it'll be helpful if you also were having this vision and was wanting to try these jeans and kind of wanted to understand sizing and whatnot. So let's jump right into the two different pairs that I purchased. So the ones that I'm wearing right now are of course, more traditional blue, lighter wash. They almost have a bit of like a vintagey 80s more wash to them, but not like overly so where I feel like they would look dated, but they definitely are a light wash, which is kind of rare for me. I typically like to wear black or gray jeans just because like most of my wardrobe is black or gray, and I find that it just looks a little more sophisticated and just a little more put together, you know, wearing them out and about versus like light jeans, like really you're making a statement. But I still wanted to try them. I really loved the look of them. I will say in person, they look a little bit different. Again, a little more high contrast in the wash than they did on the website. I will show them on the website and then I'll show them in camera. Hopefully they appear as I'm seeing them now in camera, but that way you'll get a little bit of a close-up. And so I still really like the wash though. There's nothing like overly exaggerated about it. There's no like weird whiskers or anything like that. So overall, I do like this particular wash of denim. And the other pair I got in a gray wash, which again, I also really love that wash too. Some of the photos online make it look like there are more whiskers on the thighs than there actually are, again, in person. And so I even cross-checked some photos to see, you know, if it was the same SKU number, and it was. So I don't know. I don't know why it's showing up to have more whiskers, but again, I'll show you in person so you can kind of see what that wash looks like. But that's a gray wash, and I got those in a size 40 and I got these in a size 38 because again, I just wasn't completely sure what size I would be. So let's get into sizing quickly. On the site, and this is why it was confusing, it said that a 40 would be a size 26. I'm usually a size 26 or 25, depending on the jean, and even if it's the same brand. So for example, Levi's, I have size 25 Levi's in my like Japanese denim collection, but then some of their styles I have in a size 26. So that's not super helpful, but I can honestly wear both. I usually wear 26 if I want it to be slightly more oversized, but yeah, hopefully that helps. I'm not like a true 25, so I can't confidently say that I'm one or the other. I just kind of pop back and forth between the two. But the weird thing about a lot of the size charts, and I'll get into like where I bought them from in a second, but multiple size charts across multiple different places online said that a 38 is a size 24. Now, I know I'm not a size 24, so I was really, really skeptical to order a 38 just because I'm like, there's no way I'm a 24. I'm usually a 26, so I felt a little safer with the size 40 rather than the size 38 option. If this helps at all, there's not much of a difference between the two. I will say the key difference is that this one fits a little better on the waist. I actually do think a size 38 is the best for me. The size 40 isn't bad per se. It just definitely is going to be more oversized on a jean that's already really oversized. And so be prepared for that. But if you want it like extra, extra baggy, then I would say size up, get that size. But for me, I'm sorry, this is not a 24. I've never been a 24 in my life. I would say this is more synonymous with being like a 25, almost 26 as well. Not much of a difference between the two. If anything, I think maybe because this fits slightly better on the waist that they weren't quite as long potentially. I need to measure the inseam after because the gray one seemed so much longer than these. I mean, they're both long, and I actually really like that about the jeans because There's nothing worse than getting a pair of pants and them being too short because it's really hard to let out the seam and you hope that there's a little bit of allowance, and that's usually not the case. So in general, I love that there's room to play with the length. I love that you can wear it with heels. Little harder to wear with flats. Again, if you want that like super baggy look, probably a look that would be more appropriate if you didn't live in a city where you would be like sweeping up all the muck and gruck of the street outside. I don't really love wearing like super long pants in New York for that reason, but if you're in a car city, then like totally go for that really long kind of baggy look where it just drags on the ground a little. But I do like having space because I do like wearing a little bit of heel. So that's why I've actually paired the gray ones with some taller Jimmy Choo boots that I have. These ones that I absolutely love. I actually loved this really like geometric kind of like square toe pointing out from the boot. I thought these were great. It also just reminded me that I have these and I love these shoes. But in general, I have paired the others with my trusty Margot downtown boot. These are just really simple, really comfortable, little rock and roll, and so great. I could also wear them with my Margot pumps. So I do like that there's extra length, and I wouldn't probably want to hem these. I would probably leave them as is, but I just want to give, you know, a little bit of context as to how long the inseams are. I'll also try to measure the inseams and leave them for you on the screen or in the description box because, again, if you're worried about height, I am 5'7", although my legs, I'm so sorry for the regulars that watch my videos. I say this every video, but my legs are shorter. I have the legs of more of someone that's 5'5". So even though I'm telling you my height, take that with a grain of salt because from a leg perspective, more like someone that's 5'5". But anyway, that's it for the sizing. Again, I think a 38 is going to be better for me, but I could also wear the 40 if I wanted to. So if you're on the fence, don't worry about if you see, like I did, the size 24 and you kind of freak out because you're like, I'm not a 24. Like, don't worry. It's not as tiny as you think it's going to be. So as far as where I got the jeans, I ordered both of these pairs off of Farfetch. This is not sponsored by Farfetch. I just found that they had the best selection, in my opinion, of Margiela jeans, just because if you're not familiar with how Farfetch works, I'll give a little quick summary, but they basically curate a lot of merchandise from boutiques from all over the world. So you are actually ordering from a boutique. You're not ordering from like a giant Farfetch warehouse. So the benefit of that is that there is a lot of variety and there's a lot of selection. Minor downsides, say, from ordering from like a Net-a-Porter is that I do find a Net-a-Porter is faster in terms of shipping. You can get things next day usually. So if you were in a big rush for some reason, you wouldn't be able to get these jeans next day if you ordered on Farfetch, just because these came from, I believe, France and Italy. So two different boutiques, two different countries. They did arrive within 6 or 7 days. So it was relatively fast given they're coming from another country, but again, not like crazy speedy in this day and age of internet and 2-day shipping. So I do just want to call that out. I do find returns are relatively easy with Farfetch. However, you have to do them pretty quickly. It's not like a 30 or 60-day window. It's actually a 14-day window. So again, I don't really hang on to stuff. I kind of know immediately unless I'm filming a video or something. I'm waiting for you guys. But in general, I kind of know if I want to keep or not something. So that has not been a problem for me, knock on wood, in the past. And returns are pretty seamless and pretty quick, I find. The biggest downside of Farfetch is, for whatever reason, I don't know if they do this because of like, I know why they do this. It's because of supply and demand, but different sizes can cost different things. And sometimes it can be quite substantial. So for example, these jeans, both pairs could be anywhere from $500 to $700-800. So like the price range can really, really differ between hundreds of dollars depending on what size you're getting. So if you have a really popular size, you might be paying a higher premium for the jeans, which isn't great. So I did just want to call that out, especially if you like are playing around with sizing. For example, I looked at these in a separate size. I will look, you know what, let me just check what I actually paid for these. These were $646 and the gray ones were $760. So Very expensive for sure. I've seen these, I actually saw these gray jeans at a different site. I think they were on sale for $550, but in general, they're going to be anywhere from $500 to $800 roughly. So that is the price point. Another great site, which I hate their name. It's pronounced Essence, Sense, and they have a really great variety of a ton of brands that I love. I purchased high-end things from them in the past. I bought my Totem coat from them in the past, so I know that Sense is great. They're also sorry, I like calling them Sense. I know you're supposed to say Essence, but their shipping is very quick, their customer service is great, and they didn't have as wide of a variety of Margiela jeans, but they definitely do have a good assortment of Margiela jeans. And then, of course, Net-a-Porter is another one that had probably the smallest amount of jeans, but they always have like new season stuff and they change out their stock pretty quickly. So yeah, I will leave all the information and details about all that stuff linked below. I will say, I mean, I know these are iconic jeans. I said it in the beginning, but I'm kind of surprised by how quickly they're selling out. And I'm not saying that in an annoying way that's like, oh, go buy them because they're selling out. I'm just saying that I was shocked. I was shocked that actually like a lot of these, in most of the places I was looking in these jeans, they were either sold out in certain sizes or they were saying low stock. And these are new season. So people definitely love these jeans and they're buying these jeans. And so yeah, just want to call out that they might be a little hard to get a hold of depending on when you watch this video, but I do think they come out with new kind of styles and stuff and colors and things every single season. So if you don't get them this season, you can get them another season and it'll be fine. Okay, now I'm going to jump into the part that you guys were probably waiting for, even though I'm swimming through all the technicalities of these jeans, but now I want to style them for you all. So, I mean, you can probably tell by the smile on my face. I loved these jeans. I really loved both of these jeans in very different ways. I'm going to start with the gray ones, even though I'm wearing the other ones. I thought I could kind of switch them out, but I don't know what it is. So this style, like I mentioned earlier, they're two separate styles, and this is a tapered jean style versus the blue ones are a straight leg jean style. So because of that, they both have slightly different shapes, but a little bit of similarities. So I wanted to just style them a little more simply, so you can kind of see the difference between the two a little more clearly. So I just put on this little Uniqlo wool turtleneck base layer, just very clean, very simple. And I pair it with black shoes and a black blazer. But yeah, the gray ones are a taper jean. So what that means is that I find that the shape of them is a little more exaggerated. It's a little more artistic. It's a little more edgy in my opinion. So if you really want to go all out with the Margiela kind of look with these jeans, then the tapered option is probably a great one for you. If you're a little, I don't want to say nervous, but if you just have slightly more conservative, but you're still looking for an edgy look, I think the straight leg shape might be better for you just because it's not quite as exaggerated. The tapered jean almost looks more like the Alaya round jean that I talked about in a couple of videos ago. I will also leave that link below if you're just looking for a really architectural, interesting designer jean, because I think that one also really checks the boxes. I liked the casualness of this one though, I will say, and I love that this has been a jean that's been around for so long. I'm not worried. Like, yes, this is a very particular aesthetic and baggy jeans just happen to be more of what's on trend right now, but in general, this jean's been around for a really long time. So it's a very clear look, and again, it could go out of style, but it's an iconic look within the fashion timeline, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I love it, and I feel really good when I wear it, and that's honestly the most important thing with fashion in general. So these pants, I love the exaggerated shape. They are super long. Again, I'll probably get them hemmed just a little bit so that I can wear them with my shorter boots, but like I said, I really did love them with my little Jimmy Choo funky equally architectural boots kind of sticking out of them. And I loved pairing it with this COS hourglass blazer that I got last summer in their massive sale. I haven't gotten the wear out of this as much as I would like, and I think it's because I've been really needing something like this where it comes in at the waist, so it really like helps accentuate that hourglassness. I love how the jeans kind of jut out and really just add to that shape of hourglassiness. Hourglassiness, I'm just making up words here. But I just think the silhouette's really beautiful on this. And I love that it's so complementary to the structure of the jacket. I think a jacket like this is kind of hard to wear with certain things without looking too corporate or looking just too prim and proper. So wearing it with a jean that's equally as architectural like this, I think is such a cool look. So I loved pairing the two of these together. I paired it with my really simple, kind of bigger bag from Flattered that I've been playing with right now. I've been kind of toying with the bigger bag trend also, but I love the cleanness of this one. I'll just show it up close here. I love that it has a top handle. It's a lot like the Loewe puzzle bag in that regard, but it also does have a side strap if you want. And it's big enough so it can fit a 13-inch MacBook Pro. I do not own a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Unfortunately, I only have giant ones. But it's still a great bag. For example, I will definitely be putting my I almost said my iPod. What is happening to my words today? I will definitely be putting my iPad in here when I want to get work done on the go. So very much into this. So yeah, pretty simple, clean lines. There's enough going on with the pants that I didn't feel a need to like add anything super extra. I just kind of wanted to play up those really special details. Another way that I styled this was actually with this gray blazer that I've had from Zara for ages. And I love, 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 love this blazer. I love the back of this blazer, how again, it has these architectural lines that kind of cut across it. I just think it's super cool. One thing I will say to be careful about when you are styling something like this is that there's so much volume in the pants and there's so much volume in the blazer that I would definitely try to do something to show the more feminine parts of your body off just a little bit. And what I've done is I've rolled up my sleeves. So that sounds really simple and it is, it's very simple, it's a very simple fix, but there's just something about showing this like thin part of your body. It's kind of a trick to balance out a lot of that volume and still highlight more like feminine parts of the body. So that's a little trick. I'm just going to call that out. You don't have to do that, but I do find that that helps make an outfit not as jarring when you have like all of these large layers and like lines going on. So I've done that with the gray blazer and I really loved it. Again, just paired it over this simple little top from Uniqlo. And I also played around with wearing it with my little Kelly. I don't know about you guys. Do we feel like Hermes is a little overdone right now? I feel like everyone and their mother has gotten bags over the years. And I don't know. I'm of the mindset that it's such a classic. It really can't be that overdone. But I am, when I want to look cool and modern, I do find I'm reaching more for my Flattered bags that are just more simple and brandless over this really iconic look because I feel it's just gotten like so popular in the last few years. But that's a whole nother tangent. So still love an Hermes bag, don't get me wrong, but I'm just finding that, again, it's nice to insert a little bit of that traditional look and conservative look to something that is so non-traditional in terms of like the jeans and the blazer and stuff. So it's all about balance. But yeah, I just find that I'm reaching for that bag a little bit less over time. Yeah, a more casual way is I kind of wanted to see what this would just look like with a baggy sweater. This is like my favorite sweater of all time. I purchased this from Zara, at the end of last year. And it's kind of a totem knockoff in the sense that they took their sweater sweater with an attached scarf concept and ran with it like everyone else did recently. And yeah, I just love this look. I love the volume of the scarf on top, but I also love the woolness of the sweat. Sorry, hiccups. The wool mixed with the gray. I love the head to toe gray look. So in general, this was a big win for me. I just wore it with my little Flattered clutch. Something about like the softness of the top and the softness of the clutch with like the pants just made for a really cool outfit in my opinion. So yeah, those are the gray trousers. I was toying a little bit with getting them in a 38. So I think I might, but I definitely love the gray. I think it matches with my wardrobe really well. And Again, I think it's gonna be a nice, not replacement, but a supplement to these like mango pants that I have because I can only wear these so many times. I will also say this kind of look is such a like male versus female. Like my partner like hates my mango pants. I won't say hates, but he really doesn't like them. He's like, "So, bro, when are you gonna go skateboarding?" But you know what, women, if you know, you know, and we just think certain things look cool that men can't stand. So, gotta draw the line somewhere. But so I wear them anyway. I don't care, but I did just want to call it out. It cracks me up. It's very like man repeller-esque in terms of items you can get that men are kind of like, what are you wearing? But women are like, oh my God, she looks so cool. So yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about these pants. So these pants are definitely, I mean, you can wear them any season, but of course they're lighter, could be more spring summery. I actually played around with wearing these in a really casual way just to kind of shake up wearing it with the really structured stuff. And so I actually paired this with one of my favorites, this little H&M cashmere sweater. I saw at the Row fashion show a couple years ago, they tied their sweaters like this. So I was like, you know what? Let me try and tie mine like this. So I think it looks cool, but I love that look of like a tight with another sweater. It's like sweaters on sweaters. I just love layers. I think it just makes an outfit so much more interesting to kind of layer pieces like this. And then I've actually paired them with my Birkenstocks. So I've really leaned into like the jeans, just like pulling and wearing them with the Birkenstocks. And this is like super casual. This is something I would wear upstate this summer when it's a little cooler still, but I just like want to be really easy breezy. And I actually love this look. Again, I know some people will hate this look and say you look like, you know, you can't pay your rent, but whatever. I love it. I think it looks really cool. So it was kind of fun to play around with styling this in a more casual way than with the more kind of high-end traditional items. But don't worry, I also styled them with the very similar items. I tried styling it with the same black hourglass blazer, and I actually really did like the contrast of like the black with the light wash jean. Again, if I'm looking for a more casual vibe, then this wash of jean, of course, is definitely going to give that. And because it's a little bit shorter, of course, I could pair it with my Margot 2-inch little heel booties that I can wear all day long. They're super, super comfortable. And again, wearing it with either my Hermes bag or my little flattered bag. I just also want to call out, there's something about, again, I know people will watch this video and that's fine and say, well, I can't believe you would spend that much money on a pair of jeans. And yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's also, they're designed in such a thoughtful way, and you can really see that in the shape of the jean, in exactly where they're cut and how that falls. And I love how that looks with a blazer because there's something about those lines of where the blazer falls and then where the jean falls. It's just, you can just feel it when you wear them. It feels really special and just super cool. There's really no way to describe it until you just try it on and you feel it. But thoughtful design and thoughtful engineering with garments, like you really can tell a difference. I'm not saying that justifies the price point. I'm not going to have that argument or discussion here just because I think the internet is not really the right place for that. But I think they're very well designed and they're very thoughtful. And I think it just looks really cool with those layers of having a blazer hit in a certain spot and then having the jean hit in another. I did try it on with the gray blazer, but I will say the colors were a little off for me. And this is again why I love really the gray wash more in general, just because it's easier to match. Believe it or not, black and gray, they have tones as well, and it doesn't always look great. This is a warmer gray, and these jeans, of course, are blue, so they're cooler. And so they kind of didn't quite work. I mean, they worked fine. It's not like someone would walk up to you on the street and be like, that looks strange. But in my mind, the warm of the gray wasn't quite doing it for me in the same way. So I probably would just stick to wearing this with the black. But yeah, I did style it up in a couple of different ways. So hopefully you like that. But yes, hopefully this helped in general. I I was really just so pleased. You know, when you have a vision and it comes to life and you just feel it, like that's really why I do this channel. And that's why I love clothes because they make you feel a certain way. And when they make you feel great and confident and cool, like, and especially when they give you that feeling over and over and over again every time you wear them, I just think that's something to celebrate. And so, yeah, wanted to share my little foray into Maison Margiela jeans and kind of share maybe hopefully some helpful tips in case you were looking to purchase some and were just curious about things like where to buy them and sizing and shape and stuff like that and how to style them. So hope that helped. And yes, I will see you all in my next video.